just came from Switzerland. He was a diplomat in the early 90s. Just came from Switzerland, and with his little children, they were in the car. And he had told the little children to obey laws. So they were driving in Abuja. By the way, Abuja is the capital of where many of them came from. You. And the man ran the first red light. When he ran the first red light, one of the children said, unbelievable. He ran the second red light. You know, when people get to that country, if they have been obeying laws before, sometimes they will just want to take laws into their. He said he ran the second red light. The boy said, incredible. He ran the third red light. The boy said, I don't believe this. So if your faith can see the invisible and you can believe the incredible, your faith will see the impossible. Impossible, impossible. Makes all impossibilities possible. Tell your neighbor at that point, I still believe God. 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 I believe God. You may not have seen it, but I believe God. I may not be there yet, but I believe God. It may be working against me, but I believe God. People may not see what I see, but I believe God. Faith has a voice. It doesn't just see the invisible. It also has a voice. It has a voice. Faith has a voice. Faith has a voice. I believe, therefore I speak. Faith has a voice. Faith has a voice. Jesus in the wilderness spoke the voice of faith. He spoke with the voice of faith. Matthew chapter 3. He spoke with the voice of faith. Matthew 3, Matthew 4. The voice of faith is what it's written. That nobody can change, because whosoever is born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that overcomes the world, even our faith. Jesus 3 times will say, it is written. And that will melt the devil every time. Knock him off. Give him a knockout. Every time. It is written. It is written. It is written. Man shall not live by bread alone. It is written. But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. It is written, thou shalt worship the Lord your God, and him only will you serve. It. Oh, man. It is faith that saw the wind and saw the storm and said, peace be still. It is faith. It is faith. It is faith that said, by his stripes I am healed. It is faith. 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 It is faith that said, I choose to live. 2018, when I was struck twice in 5 days with stroke. It is faith that said, I choose to live. Even though I couldn't shout it, I mumbled, I choose to live. It is faith. It is faith. 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 When the enemy comes like a flood, it is faith that says the Spirit of the Lord shall raise a standard against him. When it comes to raging as the enemy, it is faith that says no weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. No weapon. It is not amount of the blabbing we can do. It is the amount of it is written we have on the inside of us. Amount of it is written we have on the inside. Not the amount of babbling and blabbing that we have. But it is the amount of it is written we have. Faith is an act of obedience. We are talking about the language of the kingdom. Obedience is the language of faith. The act of faith is obedience. Why faith moves when situation and circumstances say stay. Faith obeys when you have everything around you to justify disobedience. Faith obeys when you don't feel like it. Faith obeys when it goes against what they taught you in school. Faith. Faith obeys when it sounds like foolishness. Faith obeys when God says a thing and you don't even feel like doing it. Faith. When they were by Jericho, faith caused the wall to fall when they began to march. Does it make sense, Keto? For you to be faced with a mighty city you want to conquer in military attack, and the word you hear is march. Just start going around. 7 days. And after that, the word you hear is, for those days you are going around, keep your mouth shut. But when you now get to the final day, all you need to do is shout. Somebody will tell Joshua, you crazy? Faith. Faith will make a man to keep on blessing, even at the point of death. Faith. I read about Isaac of Jacob the other day, and I began to cry. I'm not weak, but the Bible says by faith, at the point of death, he began to bless the children of Joseph. By faith. He didn't have strength, but he stood on the strength of his staff. He began to bless them even when it didn't look like it. By faith. I saw it beyond just blessing these boys. I saw it as an act of faith. I saw it as something that people will say, you better take care of yourself first. He began to bless them. He leaned upon his staff. He didn't have the strength. He leaned upon his staff and he began to bless them. He began to even pour to them at the point of death. Faith. The language of the kingdom. Faith, the operating system of the kingdom. Faith will bring a man like Naaman Did somebody say that faith can never be tested? The strength of faith is in the test of faith. A man like Naaman, faith will just cause him to go deep. Faith. Instruction from a man of God said, go deep there. He didn't send him to the best hospitals. He didn't send him to the best waters. Faith will cause a man like Peter to step out. Step out when it didn't make sense. What did God tell you? What has He told you before? Faith that overcomes the world will cause men like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to step into the fire and say, if we die, we die, but hear this, O king, we will never bow to your image. Faith, faith. Faith will cause those boys to choose between obeying God and writing their death sentence. Faith, faith, faith. If they did not step into that fire, the fourth man would have never come. When the fourth man came into that fire, even Nebuchadnezzar began to change his story. Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. Bad one. Some of us are a good Negro. It was a bad Negro. But when the fourth man came on the scene, Nebuchadnezzar said, didn't we put 3 people, bound hands and feet, into that fire? He said, look, I see 4 men, not bound, but I see 4th men walking. And he said the appearance of the 4th one is like the Son of God. So Nebuchadnezzar will see the Son of God. We recognize the Son of God when he saw him. That was one of the pre-appearances of Jesus because of the faith of these 3 boys. Faith of those 3 boys. Jesus Christ appeared before time because of the faith of these 3 boys.